Good morning. I am Romanda Noble Watson, the Director of Public Relations and Communications with the South Carolina High School League. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the 2023 Boys Lacrosse State Founders Press Conference. With us this morning, we have coaches and players from classes 4A and 5A. Before we begin, let's have a few words from the Commissioner of the South Carolina High School League, Dr. Jerome Singleton.
Thank you, Ms. Romanda. Good morning. Congratulations. Congratulations on a fine season. You have been chosen to represent your team on this press conference. Please know that South Carolina High School League member schools are so proud of your accomplishment. You had a great season. I know you've created some great memories. You got one more opportunity to play and create some more memories. I ask that you play hard. I ask that you play to win. I also ask that you play fair and exhibit great sportsmanship. We're so proud of you. Again, congratulations.
Thank you so much, Commissioner. And now let's meet our participants in this morning's press conference. From Class 4A, we have Christ Church Episcopal School, who is coached by Joe Porchetta. Coach Porchetta, please introduce us to your athletes.
Good morning. I'm Coach Joey Porchetta. To my right, I have Kevin McCarthy, senior midfielder, and to my left, I have Colin Williams, senior defender.
Thank you so much. And they will match up against Lucy Beckham High School, coached by Parker Farragon. Coach, please introduce us to who you have with you today.
Good morning. To my left, I have Ryan Weiss, and to my right, I have Flynn Wilson.
Thank you, Coach. And competing in Class 5A, we have Nation Ford High School, coached by Corey Turner. Coach Turner, please introduce us to who you have with you.
Absolutely. I'm Corey Turner. To my right is senior defenseman Matt Hurst. To my left is goalie Owen Galat.
And finally, they will face off against Wando High School, coached by Lance Venus. Coach, what do you have with you today?
Hi, I'm Lance Venus. Thank you for having us. To my right, I have senior attackman Garrett Mayer. To my left, I have senior defenseman Sheridan Bettinger.
Thank you so much and welcome on in again. We will begin the press conference with each coach giving us a brief summary of their season. And we will start with Coach Turner from Nation Ford.
Our season has went as scheduled. We had a successful season in our conference play. Towards the end of the season, we had some good matchups that really gave us the ability to kind of fix some of our issues. I feel like right now we're moving forward in the right direction, obviously. And it's great, just looking at all these other teams. I think the top 4 teams in the state are represented. And it's our honor to have an opportunity to go against Wando again this Saturday.
Thank you, Coach, for sharing that. And speaking of Wando, we'll move right on to Coach Renus. Please share with us your thoughts on your season this year.
I would say the theme for our season has been growth. Last year we graduated 19 seniors, so we are a very young team. At the beginning of the year, had a rough start. We played Christ Church, we played Beckham. They handled us quite well, mopped the floor with us, but we have grown from that and learned from our experiences. And with that growth, we are put ourselves in a good position to compete against a very strong opponent coming up on Saturday, Nation Ford.
All right, thank you so much. And now we will move on to Class 4A, and Coach Farragon, please provide us with your thoughts on Lucy Beckham's season.
Yeah, it's been a really fun season. This is our first year with seniors. So it's just been really cool to see, where we started 2 years ago to this year. We took a few trips and really just tried to make it a really memorable season for the first ever senior class at Lucy Beckham.
Thank you so much, Coach. And finally, we have Coach Porchetta from Christ Church. Please give us a little insight on how your season went.
Our season's been great. We have 15 seniors, so obviously we've got a lot of buy-in from our younger guys to perform for these guys that have worked so hard to get this program where it is. I think that we've had a very competitive schedule. We made early trips to Charleston, Charlotte, and then a later season trip to Arden to play Christ School. So I feel like our guys have been engaged the entire time, and they show up every day and work hard.
Thanks for sharing that. And now that we've gotten an insight on how the season's panned out, we're going to move on to the student athletes, and we're going to stay with Christ Church. And this question goes to Kevin. What would you say was the highlight of this year's season?
Well, it's tough to pinpoint one moment as the highlight. I mean, the 6 a.m. workouts all off season, the shooting together on weekends, the staying after practice to get more work in. All of those are highlights. But I think what Coach talked about, our trip to Arden to play Christ School. In the previous years, we've lost to them by last year, like 6 or 7 goals, year before, like by like 10 or 15 goals. And Christ School has kind of always been maybe the premier lacrosse team in the Carolinas for the last couple of years. And be able to go into Asheville and to beat them 12-10 while we had some guys out injured. That was a really good victory for us. And that was a game that we all bookmarked on the calendar before the year started. And to be able to win that game meant a lot to us.
Oh, well, congratulations on that big win. And now for Colin, what makes this year's team so special?
I think that overcoming adversity is really this team's piece. We've overcome injuries during the preseason, during the middle season, and especially this week where we've had a lot of injuries. So I think our ability to overcome adversity in that way and really perform well this season has really turned this team into a monster to face.
I'm glad you had overcame some of those injuries, and for those who are injured, we definitely wish them speedy recovery. And now, excuse me, we move to Lucy Beckham, and the first question will go to Flynn. What would you say has been the key to your success thus far leading into the state finals?
I think the way that we are just close and how, we're just a great team and all of us are just, great friends is honestly the biggest key to, having your chemistry and doing good.
So the cohesiveness off the field translating to the success on the field.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, thank you. And for Ryan, how has your schedule prepared you for Saturday's contest?
We've played some really talented teams and we've been through ups and downs against them. And I'm really excited to play and this team coming up. And I think our coaches have prepared us pretty well to get to this point. So I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, well, definitely good luck. And now we'll go on to 5A. It's your turn to answer just a couple of questions, and we'll start with Wando and Garrett. We know throughout the season that some teams face challenges. What challenges, if any, has your team faced, and how did you get over those challenges?
I think one of our biggest challenges we've had this year is we've had a younger team than we're used to. Where last year, as said, we graduated 19 seniors. The year before that, we graduated 20 seniors. And coming into this year with only 4 seniors is kind of just a different for the program in general. And learning early on how we have to kind of change our style of play and really work with the younger guys to make sure they feel incorporated and make sure they feel valued in the team.
It looks like it worked because you're here representing in the States. And for Sheridan, at what point in the season did you realize that you are young, but when did you realize that, hey, we still, even though we're a young team, we still have a chance to make it to the States?
Yeah, so we had a hard stretch towards the beginning of the season where we had a number of hard opponents from all the way from Texas and Georgia. Those were really hard teams. We got beat up pretty good. But when we started playing in-state again, compared to these out-of-state powerhouses, we started beating teams by 10 to 15 goals, and we realized those out-of-state opponents are really hard, but in-state we grew and we're ready for states.
Well, thank you for sharing that. And finally, we will hear from students from Nation Forward High School. And this question goes to Matt. When the season began, did you feel that you could make it back to the state championship game?
Oh, absolutely. I feel like we prepared this season and last season to get back to where we are. We already had this planned out, and yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we were juniors last year. I mean, after losing last year at states, we wanted to get back to where we are now. So,
well, congratulations on it and meeting your goal. And finally, for Owen, what would it mean for you and your teammates to win the state title?
I feel like it would mean a lot because we have a big senior class this year, and most of the guys on the team have been playing for ages together. So I feel like it would feel a lot to us because we just been playing so long, and everyone's been like saying like we're gonna have it one year. So hopefully we just can hopefully get it this year.
Well, good luck and good luck to all of you all. So that kind of winds down the question and answer portion, that some questions that came in that they wanted to know about you all, but we never end press conferences. Well, I don't ever end press conferences without giving the viewers an inside look of who's on that sideline, who's on that field. So that means student athletes as well as coaches. And so I'm going to go with the student athletes first. This is one of the questions that we received. So I'll ask it to all of you all, and I'll call you out. The question is, what is your favorite part about the game of lacrosse? And I will stay with Nation Forward, and I'll come with you. Each of you all, student athletes, please tell me, what is your favorite part about the game lacrosse?
I would say the energy, like, and the brotherhood without the sport, like just all of us being connected, doing things on and off the field together. I'd say that's probably the best part about it.
I'll agree with that. I was gonna say like probably like the celebrations. They're just fun to watch, but then also like the brotherhood because all of us are like friends outside of lacrosse. Like we all hang out all the time without having to have a stick in our hand.
Okay, and I'm going to move on to Lucy Beckham. Tell me, what is your favorite part about the game?
I would think my favorite part is just how fast it is. It takes 3 seconds, to have somebody score, and then you go down and score another goal. I just love how fast the game goes.
I could second that, but I also like just how close all the teams are and coming to practice every day and being with the guys is just the best part, and the best part about it and how fast it is, the sport, and how it's growing in the South.
Okay, and it looks like Wando must have fallen off, so I'll go to Christchurch. Share with me, what do you feel like the best part of the game of lacrosse is?
I really like the pace of the game. It's called the fastest sport on 2 feet, so anything can happen at any point where you're on one side of the field and automatically the ball's on the other side of the field. So it's full of energy, and that's the best part about it.
I play midi, so I'm able to play offense, defense, take wings, kind of do everything the team needs me to do. And I love that aspect of lacrosse where I'm not just centered in one position. I'm able to do anything to help the team. And then also with some of the guys I've talked about before, the brotherhood. I don't think there's any other sport that I've played that the culture is as strong, and the brotherhood is as strong as the culture on every lacrosse team I've ever been on. We're all best friends out of school. We hang out together on the weekends, and I think it's tough to have that experience in other sports.
Oh, that's pretty good to hear. And finally, Wando, share with me, gentlemen, what is your favorite part about the game of lacrosse?
My favorite part is just the ability to go out there and play with your friends. Like last year, I played midfield mainly, and it was same experience. This year I'm playing attack. It's just always fun to go out there with kids you've been playing with your whole life, and you pretty much spent like 6 days a week with now since January. It's just cool to see it all come together in the end with all these kids you've been around all year, and around for some of them you've been playing lacrosse with since you were like in rec when you were like 7 years old.
Wow, okay. Lifelong friendships. Your take?
Probably my favorite part about the game is my teammates' reactions when big plays happen. So like anytime someone scores a goal, it doesn't matter who it is, the whole team gets loud, gets excited. If there's a big save or a ground ball or a takeaway, everyone gets excited. It doesn't matter who it is. We get loud, we get happy, and it's a lot of fun.
That's good. It's good to have that team camaraderie. Okay, so coaches, you heard from your student athletes. It's your turn for them to hear from you as well as the viewers. And so, coaches, something to think about. If you were not coaching lacrosse, what other sport would you choose to coach and why? And I will start with Coach Renus. What?
That's an interesting question. Both my parents were coaches, so I grew up on the sidelines. Football, field hockey, cross country, track. So
Wow.
I would have to pick my secondary sport, which would be football. In high school I was a middle linebacker and fullback, and so I just like games that are physical and require toughness. And so I think, I'd be a football coach.
So generally, when I ask a question, I forgot this piece.
Yes.
Pick a sport that you're not familiar with. If you had to choose a sport that you weren't familiar with, what would you choose? You'll be surprised. There's some interesting ones that I have received.
I'll be serious. I thought of a couple, jokes, but I would say the sport I always wanted to play growing up would be ice hockey, and I never was able to play ice hockey. So I in another life, in another universe, I think I'd be a good ice hockey coach.
Okay, Coach Turner, same question.
It'd probably be soccer. That was a sport, a lot of lacrosse, give and goes, triangles and things like that. Kind of merge in with what I grew up playing when I was younger. A sport that I would like to have played, I probably would go with Coach Lance. Hockey was one that where I was from, a lot of kids played, but my parents weren't in that income bracket to play it. So, I didn't get that opportunity. But that said, it's a great sport. It's physical, takes tremendous endurance, and it's a great team sport. So anything that's team sport related, I think that's what it all comes down to. That's why I think I love lacrosse so much.
Okay, well, thanks. And now we're going to our 4A coaches, and Coach Porchetta, what would you want to coach?
I have a couple thoughts here.
Okay, go with it.
First would be cross country, and here's why. I love running long distances in straight lines. Okay, when I stopped playing, I realized that club lacrosse post college was not for me because every time I strapped up, I'd rip my hamstring or something. So I took up running, and I really do think seriously that there's something so difficult mentally about running, and I think that it would be fun to try and work with young adults in pushing their limits on the cross country course. I think that'd be fun. My other thought, I don't know that I want to be a golf coach, but in a similar spirit, I think I would make a really good golf caddy. Now, I don't know anything about the sport of golf, but I'm really encouraging. I'm like chronically optimistic. And if anybody out there is looking for a caddy, I'm here for it.
Hey, you know what? That's you picked the top two things that a caddy need to be. So there you have it. And finally, Coach Farragon, it's your turn to tell us, what would you coach and why?
I kind of want to be a caddy now too, but I guess I played a lot of sports. I guess I would say I have never coached football, but I think football in a lot of ways teaches a lot of life lessons, teaches you toughness, teaches you how to be gritty. The physical aspect of it is great. So I've never coached football, but I played it, and so I guess that'd be the next sport that I would like to coach.
Okay, and so we will close out the fun portion of this morning's press conference with our student athletes. Now, is this very similar, coach, to the one I gave to your coaches? If you are a two-sport athlete, you cannot choose that sport. What sport would you play other than lacrosse? And I'm going to go to Nation Sport again. Matt?
I'd probably say brotherhood because oh my God. Sorry, I'd probably say football because it's like the same aspect of brotherhood. Oh.
It's it's okay, because I was like, hey, I never heard. I was going to ask you to tell me exact when I said what, I was like, well, what is he talking about? Because I was intrigued to find out what sport that was so I can look it up, so I can learn about it actually. So okay. So you said football?
Yeah, football because of the same aspect of brotherhood and all.
Okay, so that was what my what was for. My what was, I was confused, but if you found a sport, please email me at the South Carolina High School League and let me know. Miss Ramanda, I found the sport that I was talking about. Owen?
I'd probably choose hockey. I mean, it's kind of similar to lacrosse, but it just seems fun. Just like skating just seems like effortless. I mean, it's not, but it just seems like easy to just glide on the ice and just kind of hit someone. But I don't know. It seems kind of hard.
Yeah, trying to balance yourself and swing this, kind of hard. And we'll go to Lucy Beckham and Ryan.
I'd probably choose pickleball.
Pickleball, okay.
It's pretty relaxed, and it's just fun to be outside and play with the guys. So I'd play pickleball.
Okay, Flynn?
I'd probably say basketball. I've never been too good at basketball, but I think that it's just really cool how fast the game is, kind of like lacrosse. And yeah, also if I could jump, that'd be cool too. But
All right. And we're gonna go to Wando and Garrett.
My first answer would probably be hockey. I know that's been said a lot, but it's so similar. It's very similar to lacrosse in many ways. And I find especially watching hockey on TV is so fun. It's just such a fast-paced sport, and it's constant. Like there's always action, even though the game's relatively low scoring. Someone's always getting hit or shooting. It's just such high action, fast pace, and it's very similar to lacrosse. I think it'd just be a really fun sport to play.
All righty. And Sheridan.
I was gonna say ice hockey as well. I love how physical it is. That's why I'm a defender for lacrosse. I love physicality. It's also fast paced, just like lacrosse as well. Takes a lot of eye-hand coordination and skill.
Okay, and finally, we're gonna go to Kevin at Christchurch. What sport would you choose?
I grew up playing soccer. I've kind of played soccer my whole life. So I definitely would probably play that, but in South Carolina, like soccer and lacrosse are in the same season, so I can't really do that. But recently I've taken a liking to golf. Our coach is talking about caddying, so got me, thinking about the golf course. So I think it would definitely be probably golf. Just it's a lot of fun. Just go golfing with the guys on the weekend. So I think it's tough to beat that feel.
Okay, and finally, Colin, what sport would you choose?
I think chess boxing would be a really fun sport to try.
What's the name of it?
Chess boxing.
Chess boxing. What is chess boxing?
So-
Enlighten me and the viewers.
So it's boxing, but in between rounds, you play 5 minutes of chess, and then you restart the next round.
Okay, all right. Chess box. Hold on. I'm gonna write that down real quick. Hold on. Chess boxing. I don't know if that's a sport, but if it is, I will find it. Well, thank you all so much. Now the viewers, as well as myself, get to see your personalities outside of you being on the field with your helmets and your sticks and everything. So I definitely thank you all for joining me and enlightening us and having a good time in the press conference, giving us some information about this upcoming championships. Speaking of, before we conclude, let's run down the schedule for the finals. All matches will be played at Irmo High School this Saturday, April 29th. The state finals get underway with the Class 4A girls matchup between Oceanside and Collegiate Academy. And, between Oceanside Collegiate Academy and Lucy Beckham at 11 a.m. The Class 4A boys matchup will follow 25 minutes after the conclusion, and it features Christchurch and Lucy Beckham. And the girls 5A matchup will begin our evening session at 5:30 p.m. and will feature JL Mann and Wando. And it will be followed by the boys 5A game featuring Nation Ford and Wando, which will be 25 minutes after the conclusion. Tickets for all state finals are digital and can be purchased at www.gofan.co. And additional information can be found on the South Carolina High School League website at www.schsl.org. Once again, thank you all so much for attending, taking out your busy time to come with me for a little bit today and sharing with the viewers. And we thank the viewers for watching, and that does conclude our press conference.